Guys, you're not gifting one papers. Okay, we're back. We're back. Grade 9, maths. It's all maths for grade 9, guys. There's nothing more, nothing less. And I won't deviate from something unless someone shows me that they want me to deviate. And there's only one way to show that you want deviation from what I have planned. And that is, All right. So grade 9s, which paper are we wanting a focus on? Do you want paper 2, where we have geometry and all of that stuff? Or do you want to do paper 1 related to stuff? Which one, my comrade? Which one? Okay. I think paper 2 is the one, grade 9 paper 2. So we are going to do grade 9 paper 2 maths. Vandaag. Grade 9 maths paper 2. Okay. So let's read this. Okay. November the 12th, 2024. Let's look at this particular paper. It's a grade 9 maths paper 2. So let's look at this question. In the figure below, we are told that JL is parallel to PS. JL is parallel to who? To PS. Where is JL? JL is there. Where is PS? PS is there. Now we are told that QKR, this angle, all right, is equal to what? 50 degrees. Then we are told that KQ, meaning this side, KQ is here, is equal to KR. KR is there. And you can see the symbols that indicate the equal sides, guys. KQ is equal to KR. Then they are saying JKQ is equal to X. Now what do they want? They are wanting us to give a reason why Q2 is equal to X. For how many marks? For 1 mark. So let's go back to the diagram again. In the figure below, JL, here is JL, and PS, here is PS. We are told that those lines are what? Are parallel. That symbol stands for parallel lines. We can see the arrows that indicate the lines are parallel. Furthermore, QKR, what's QKR? QKR is 50 degrees. KQ is equal to KR. That is KQ, that is KR. And we are told that JKQ is X. Now what they want is give a reason why Q2, where is Q2? Here. Why is Q2 also going to be equal to X for 1 mark? Now I'm going to wait for you guys to tell me, not for me to tell you. Why is Q2 going to be equal to X, guys? What's the reason? Why is angle Q2 going to also be equal to X? Why? NT is saying alternate angle, alternate, and he writes Z. Official Alice RSA says X and Q2 are alternating angles, right? Luvian is saying alternate. Nobutle is saying alternate angles. Okay, so grade 9s, it seems like we have a consensus that angle Q2 and this angle here, angle JKQ, is also equal to X. So if they're saying give a reason why is Q2 equal to X, then we know most that we are going to say, we can write the whole things, alternate angles. And then we need to also then state the lines that are parallel. We can't just write alternate angles and not state the lines that are parallel. We say JL is parallel to PS. Okay? For short, according to our acceptable reason documents, we say alt angles, then semicolon. We state the lines, guys. We always state the lines that are parallel. whenever we write the reason. Okay, so yes, you guys are 100% correct, and we can then update the diagram and write x there, because angle JKQ is equal to angle what? Angle Q2. They are both equal to x, because as you guys have rightfully said, alternate angles. Okay, but let's not forget to state the lines that are parallel, because without the lines that are parallel, our reason is not fully complete. Okay, but of course, short form for alternate angles, we say ALT for alternate, then we write the symbol for angles, then we write a semicolon, and then we state the lines that are parallel. JL is parallel to who? To PS. Okay, hopefully we are together there, right? And whilst we are there, we can move on then to the next question. That 1 mark I know I've gotten for sure, no doubt about it. Let's move on to the next question. You see, when you get something, update your diagram. Very important. Let's move on. Hence, determine the value of x. This word, very important word. What does the word hence mean, grade 9s? When they say hence, what does that mean? Do we know? Because we need to be familiar with the maths language. You know, the word hence, do you know what the word hence means? Right? Hopefully, I hope we do. But they are saying hence determine the value of x. Very good, official Alice RSA. Definitely, that's what the word hence means. We should use the above information. So something of what you did above, meaning in the previous question, something of what you did in the previous questions needs to then be used in answering the question that you are now being asked. So now they are saying, use something from what you have done in the previous question to determine the value of x. So, how can we then now do that? The value of x. Remember, we were told that angle Q2 is equal to x. We then gave a reason why. So that means now when we update our diagram, Q2 is x. Angle JKQ is also x. But now we need to solve or determine the value of x. So where do we start? We can see that KQR is a what? It's a triangle. KQ is equal to KR. That is something that we have. I think we can write that down. Say KQ is equal to KR. What's the reason? We are given that, guys. Okay. Furthermore, angle Q2, all right, is also going to be equal to which angle, guys? Angle Q2 is going to be equal to angle, say it with me, angle Q2 is equal to angle R1. Angle Q2 is equal to angle R1, which is both equal to what? To x. Thank you, baby. PUA 09, 100% correct. Angle Q2 is equal to angle R1, which is both equal to what? To x. What's the reason for saying that? Why do we say angle Q2 is equal to angle R1? I want that reason, guys, that is acceptable. I don't want reasons that are not acceptable. Okay, so tell me. I'm going to wait very patiently for you guys to tell me why angle Q2. Why do we say angle Q2 is equal to angle R1? Why? Official LA says reason, base of an equal triangle. Okay, so that one, official Alice, is not acceptable, that reason. Tabolebuso says isosceles triangle. Even that one, even though I understand what you mean, that one is not acceptable. Okay. Ohanzo 17 says, say we are writing maths paper 1 now. You are lying. You can't be writing maths paper 1. Why are you on WhatsApp? Why are you on TikTok? You can't be writing maths paper 1 now. Okay. And secondly, did you even ask what grade I'm doing? Thirdly, Why are you here if you are a grade 12 learner, Hans? What are you doing on TikTok? Okay, so yes, this is a revision for grade 9s, guys. This is grade 9 revision. Okay, let's just show you grade 9 maths paper 2. Some of the grade 9s are writing next week maths paper 2. So I'm doing revision for them. But grade 12 learners will learn a lot. Thank you, Tabo. Now, Tabo, you are speaking. Now you are speaking the language, my leader. Angles opposite equal sides. Guys, this is the document that we are working with. For triangles, these here are acceptable reasons we use whenever we are dealing with Euclidean geometry. The angles opposite the equal sides in an isosceles triangle are what? Are equal. Here is it. Angles op equal sides. That's why we say those angles are equal. So I'm going to go and write down that reason. Why is angle Q2 equal to angle R1? Okay, you can get those statements there on, you can go to Google and then you can type examination guideline, because it's usually given out in grade 10, but it's good to have it in grade 9. You can write examination guideline, acceptable reasons for geometry. You will get the document there, all right? You will get the document there. It's there, okay? That's where you get the document from. So we can write angles opposite equal sides, all right? Or in the place of equal, you can actually write the actual equal sign. That's also fine, okay? You tried, they are not available. Okay, guys, like I said, okay, or you can write the acceptable reasons, Euclidean geometry. You should be able to get, the PDF should actually pop up, or at least the link to the PDF should pop up, and you should get access there. Check it out, like I said, acceptable reasons for Euclidean geometry. You need to know those for lines that apply to lines, You need to know the ones that apply to triangles. You need to know the ones that apply to quadrilaterals, because as grade 9 learners, we need to know for quadrilaterals, for triangles, and for lines. We need to know those reasons as grade 9 learners. So now, guys, we were actually able to say angle Q2 is equal to angle R1. So we update the x value now that we have there. I think we can now determine the value of x. Guys, sorry, let me just say this as well. You can't say angle Q2 and angle R1 is equal to x, reason angles on a straight line. Guys, angles on a straight line, remember, angles on a straight line, those are angles like R1 and R2. You can say these are angles on a straight line because they share a common vertex. And we know that angles on a straight line, they add up to 180. So to say angles on a straight line is incorrect. To say base angles of an isosceles triangle, please guys, let's familiarize ourselves with those reasons in the acceptable reason document. I would advise that for your own peace and safety, grade 9s. Random boy, the one who is requesting, okay, I only accept guests that gift. I'm sorry, I will not accept now people randomly. If something is gifted, I'll accept you. I'll accept you as a guest. We can talk, but not just randomly. Okay, I'm trying to deviate from that and leave that world. Okay, let's come now, guys. Now we have x there. We have x there. So in this triangle, we have x, and we have 50 degrees. Okay. So this is grade 9, like I said, guys. Grade 9. I'm saying it again. But this grade 9 foundational knowledge of geometry helps a grade 11, 10, and 12 learner to know the basics so that they can answer the questions and also even the concepts that come up in the grades that they are in. So I'm doing grade 9 right now. Grade 9. I repeat, grade 9. So in this triangle, in triangle KQR, what are we going to do? We are going to say angle Q2 plus angle R1 plus angle K is equal to 180 degrees. Why are we saying that? Now we go to that acceptable reason document. For triangles, there are 3 reasons that you can use whenever you say the interior angles of a triangle are what? Are supplementary. 3. One of those is you can say angle sum in triangle, or you can say sum of angles in triangle, or you can say int angles triangle. You choose the one that is most appropriate and you make sure that you write it correctly. So let's just say angle sum in triangle. Yes, Tabole also, my varsity friend, you can definitely use sum of angles. Sum of angles in triangle. Okay, so angle sum in triangle, then we substitute x plus 50 degrees. Okay, Billy V, what is the paper that you want to see? You want to see this document. Guys, I'm saying it again. This document is the acceptable reasons for Euclidean geometry document. Go and search it on your Google engine. You will find it. It's there. You can download it and you can utilize it. For lines, it has the reasons. For triangles, it has the reasons. And then for quadrilaterals, it has the reasons. Okay? Yeah. Okay, Tabole Boso is saying, inbox me, guys, I have it. Tabole Boso is growing his following an audience via this live. Good job, Tabo. Then we can add now x plus x, that is 2x. Yes, grade 8, this is applicable to grade 8. Okay, this grade 9 is applicable to grade 8, it's applicable to grade 10, it's applicable to grade 11. X plus x is 2x. You take the 50 over, even though this is a grade take the 50, you transpose this 180 minus 50. So that's 2x is equal to what? 130. Then we can go ahead and divide both sides by 2. We get x is equal to 65 degrees. Okay, so the value of x, oh, there it is. It is 65 degrees. And you know, that is how we are able to solve for that x. Okay, easy, right? Easy capeasy. Not as difficult as we would have thought it would be, this question. Very nice and straightforward. Very delightful, very beautiful, very delicious, you know. That we were able to firstly give a reason why angle Q2 is equal to x. We were able to say the reason, alternate angles, because JL is parallel to PS. We started off on that note. Then the next question was, hence determine the value of x. We needed to get the value of x. Since we had updated our diagram, written x there, we then furthermore were able to see that KQ is equal to KR, and if that is the case, since it's given, we can conclude that angle Q2 and angle R1 are equal, and they're both equal to x. The reason is angles opposite the equal sides. Then in triangle KQR, we could see how beautiful. We can add the angles, all 3 of them. They are equal to 180. Why? Because the angle sum in the triangles, it gives us 180. Then we solve for x. We substitute Q2 x because it is x. We substitute in the place of R1 x because it is x. We substitute in the place of angle K 50 degrees because it's 50. Make it equal to 180. Then we transpose the 50 degrees. 180 minus 50 is 130. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 65 degrees. Okay? Make sense? I'll make this particular page available after I'm done with the live. Corey! Okay, let's move on to the next question. Look at this one. Now we are dealing with a what? With a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram with angle B, 100 degrees. Where's angle B? Angle B, the entire angle is 100 degrees. The entire angle. You see, it's not marked in the diagram, but anyways, even though it's not marked in the diagram, we make it our responsibility to ensure that that is actually something that we indicate in our diagram so that we have a full-on understanding. So that is 100, guys, degrees. When they say it's a parallelogram, all properties that relate to a parallelogram will apply. What's beautiful here is that they've marked the properties. This line indicates opposite sides are equal, 1, 1. These two lines indicate opposite sides are equal, 2, 2. These arrows, two of them, indicate opposite sides are parallel. But another as well, arrow here, these opposite sides are what? Are parallel. But those are not the only properties we know about a parallelogram. We also know that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are what? Are equal. So if that angle B is 100, I know intuitively that angle D, the whole entire angle D, is also what? 100. You see? It's beautiful when we know these things. All right? Then lastly, we know that the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. What does that mean? It means here the length of DT is equal to the length of TB. The length of TC is equal to the length of AT. Those are things that you will intuitively know because you know your properties. So what is the Maths Gamer host going to say to you? I am going to say to you, know the properties for all your quadrilaterals. Okay? And let me just show you, in your acceptable reason document, what you then have is some of the acceptable reasons used when using properties related to parallelograms. Look at this one. So first and foremost, for quadrilaterals, we know interior angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360. Whenever we used it, we say sum of angles in quad. That's an acceptable reason. Second, the opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. Whenever you use this property to hook in something that you have said, the acceptable reason is opposite sides of, look at this, parallel lines with an M. That stands for parallelogram. That's how we write short form for or parallelogram. Two parallel lines with an M. That means parallelogram. Opposite sides of parallelogram. Short reason. Okay. To prove that a quadrilateral is a palm, that's the acceptable reason. The opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal in length. That is the reason. This reason is the same as that one. Okay. So when opposite sides are parallel or opposite sides are equal in length, we use the same standard reason. Okay. Opposite sides of parallelogram. Okay, guys, there's others here. I hope you get the point. This document for a grade 9 learner who's planning to do pure maths next year is key. Get it, have it, so that you can get familiar with using the reasons. So that when you get to grade 10, it's easy. It's easy to use the reasons. You are familiar with them. Okay, let's go back. First question says, determine the size of angle D with a reason. For how many marks? For 2 marks. Determine the angle of what? The size of what? Angle D. By angle D, what do they mean? They mean this entire angle. This entire angle. So tell me, guys, in the comment section, what is angle D? And give me a reason. Give it to me. What is angle D? And give me the reason. I'm waiting. I am waiting for you guys. You see, I filled in information for you, so you should know what angle D is. They told us that angle B is 100 degrees. So what is angle D and what is the reason for saying angle D is that? I'm waiting. Or do I have people who are passively watching and they are not participating in nothing? You, PTSD. What in the world of mongrels? PTSD, my foot. I suka sufana abageza apha, you silly person. Who's Mu? Mu, you are silly when. Angle D1 is equal to angle C1. My leader. Determine the size of the entire angle D. Selo is saying 100 opposite angles of a palm. I love you, Selo. 100 degrees, 100 alternate angles. No, guys, not alternate angles. Dr. Dope, to honest, I don't know. YN, because there's opposite. Jade, 100, because opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. Okay, thank you so much for your guys' contributions. Remember, guys, we were told that angle B is 100. So I agree with those that say angle D is also going to be 100. So let's write that down at least. Angle D is equal to angle B, which is equal to 100 degrees. Our reason for saying that, guys, don't make your 100 become like it's another 0. 100 degrees. There we have it. Ne? That's what we can say. What's our reason? Let's go to the acceptable reason document. Let's go down here. The opposite angles of a parallelogram are what? Are equal. The acceptable reason document has this reason for us. That's very nice. Op angles of parallelogram. You see, parallelogram in the acceptable reason document has two lines that are vertical with an M next door. So we can just do that. Op angles of parallelogram. 2 marks. 1 mark for my statement. That is 100% correct. 1 mark for my reason. Jade, 100%. You go, girl. You go get them, girl. So proud of you, Jade. Okay, let's go on. Next one. Determine the size of angle A with a reason. Mam Shungwana is saying this is easy. Yeah. I had Lena last night. We were doing functions for grade 10. That Lena said, "Sir, this maths is so easy when we are doing it with you in the live session." And I laughed. All right. The hope, guys, is that you will begin to develop the skill even as you see me do things to find that, man, this is easy. Then you see maths is easy, and then you chow the maths, okay? Determine determine the size of angle A. This entire angle, guys, we need it. Okay. Now, hopefully, after getting angle D, we update our diagram. We know that's also 100 degrees. Now, in the comment section, I already see my beautiful friend JT1823 saying 80 co-interior angles. 80 co-interior angles. That's what JT1823 is saying about angle A. Where is angle A? There is angle A. It is this entire angle. This entire guy. Okay. Carry? No, it is not 100. Sorry, my girl. Carry, let's look at this a little bit further. So we have AB and CD that are what? Parallel lines. Can we see that? Then, Tina, we also have this knowledge that we have about parallel lines. We have fun that we know. What is fun? Fun is the way that we are able to see the relationship between angles that exist when we have what? Parallel lines. So listen to what fun does. F is what we mean by corresponding angles. What are corresponding angles? On top of one parallel line, on top of the other, we have what we call, on the same side of a line that we call the transversal line. On top of this line, on top of that line, we have what we call corresponding angles. And those angles, as long as the lines there are parallel, we say that those angles are what? They are equal. That is corresponding. On top, or we can say bottom of this line is equal to the angle bottom of the other line. Those are corresponding angles. As long as the lines are parallel, we say those angles are equal. That's corresponding. That's F shape. Then we have U. U shape has to do with co-interior angles. As long as the lines here are parallel, the angles situated in the armpits Like it's like your armpits. You see where your armpits, they stink, right? The combination of those armpits gives a huge stinky smell. The combination of angles in your armpits supplementar. We add up to 180 as long as the lines are what? Are parallel. So for co-interior angles, that angle and that angle. Why co-interior? Because the angle here plus the angle there is situated on the inside of the parallel lines. Hence we say U-shape. U-shape means co-interior. Those two angles add up to 180 as long as the lines are what? Are parallel. This becomes our reason. Co-interior angles, we state the lines that are parallel. It's not enough to just say co-interior. You must say co-interior angles, then identify the lines that are parallel. You write them as well so that your reason is complete. Without those parallel lines, your reason is not complete. It is incomplete. And the last relationship for parallel lines is what we call alternate angles. The Z or the N shape. Those angles situated in the crevices of Z and N. Okay? Those angles, we refer to them as alternate angles. So as long as we have lines that are parallel, we say those alternate angles are what? Are equal. All right? So it is very important to know F, top, bottom, angles are equal if lines are parallel, corresponding angles. We state the lines that are parallel. U shape, which is co-interior angles. Those angles add up to 180 as long as the lines are parallel. Then N or Z shape. Those angles are equal to each other as long as the lines are parallel. We call them alternate angles. So let's go back to the diagram. Determine the size of angle A with a reason. Where is A? Here is angle A. What other angles do we have in this parallelogram? We have angle D, we have angle B. So, if we have angle D and it is 100 degrees, what relationship does angle A and angle D have together since they are situated between parallel lines? We can check what that relationship is. Angle A, all of it, with angle D, all of it. They lie between the parallel lines. We take our diagram, we can put it even upside down. Isn't this our U shape? Okay. Isn't this our U shape? Yes, it is. Isn't this angle and that angle our armpits where it stinks? Yes, it is. Isn't this angle plus this angle having a special relationship between these parallel lines? Yes, they do. What relationship do they possess? They possess a co-interior angle relationship. So, what can I say? I can say the following. Angle A plus angle D, I can say are equal to 180 degrees. What is the reason? I can say co-interior angles. Now be careful. You must write down, after saying co-interior angles, the lines that are parallel. Which ones are you talking about for this relationship of A and D? You are talking about AB and DC. So we say AB is parallel to DC. What is angle A? It is yet to be solved. What is angle D? It is 100 degrees. So I write the 100 degrees equal to 180. Then I solve for A. So angle A is equal to 180 minus 100. Then what is the actual angle of angle A? Angle A is equal to 80 degrees. Who can fight against such excellence? No one. All right. Now, someone might be sitting here and be saying, sir, I see this working out that you did here. Would I be incorrect, sir, if I just said angle A is 80 degrees? and then wrote the reason next door without having to go through this process? Would I be correct if I just said angle A is equal to 80 degrees and wrote the reason? Yes, my child, you would be 100% correct, because it must mean that you did the maths mentally. You saw that there's a relationship between angle A and D, and then in your head you were like, 100 plus what gives me 180? So then you said 100 plus, oh, this angle is 80. Then you said angle A is equal to 80 degrees, and then you simply wrote the reason: co-interior angles AB is parallel to CD. You would get your full marks, 2 marks for actually having done that. That is 100% correct, my dear. Okay. Any questions whatsoever, my beautiful grade 9 people that are in the live, and grade 8s? And I sense that there's also grade 10s here, there's grade 11s here, grade 12. If you are here, I don't understand how you can be here, but you are writing maths paper 1 right now. Lastly, if you are in varsity, welcome back to high school maths. I know you miss it. Maybe I'm going to give you ideas as you are seeing this live of saying, maybe I can do live sessions myself and start helping the little kids that are in grade 8, grade 9, because hey, as I see this guy doing what he's doing, it's not like he's special. Guys, I'm not special. I'm just an ordinary person like you. If you are sitting there and you have this desire of wanting to help others, doing live sessions like this, please go ahead and do it, my leader, because the kids need you. And maybe you can do an even better job than I'm doing, man. Okay? I love that idea. Okay. We could have, guys, answered Tabolebo, I'm thinking of it now. You could have, if you wanted to, answered this question not by using angle A and D, but by using angle A and angle B. Are we together? You could have answered the very same question using angle A and angle B, because A and B are also co-interior angles. It's a matter of flipping your diagram over and seeing the U. Oh, and B was 100. Oh, and angle A we could have used, because between these parallel lines, but be very careful, if you had used angle A and angle B, of course then you would have identified BC and AD as your lines that are parallel in your reason. So angle B plus angle A is also equal to 180. And when you solve, you also get angle A, which is 80 degrees. So this is another approach you could have used to answer the very same question, and it would have also been 100% accurate. Are we together? Guys, and you say geometry is hard? No ways. I disagree. Okay, let's go on. Next question. If the diagonals, now what do we mean by diagonals? These are diagonals, people. This AC is a diagonal from one vertex that is in the opposite end of the quadrilateral to the other vertex. This straight line is what we call a diagonal. DB is a diagonal. They are saying if the diagonals bisect the angles, what does that mean? They are saying, in other words, if this diagonal bisects the angle, which angle? In other words, they are saying if this diagonal, if you're saying bisects the angle, it means angle B1 is equal to angle B2. Angle D2 is equal to angle D1. That's what bisecting a diagonal means. It means that you can actually divide this whole angle into equal halves. Are you together? That means if this diagonal is bisecting angle B, it means B1 is 50, angle B2 is 50. That's what it means if they're saying a diagonal bisects the angle. The word bisect, bi, in the English language, the prefix bi means to. Sect means to cut. So you cut into 2, half, right? Equal half. I hope you understand that. Okay, so if they are saying if the diagonal bisects the angle, we are bisecting the angle, show that the diagonal bisect perpendicular. Yo, what does perpendicular mean? I'm sure you've seen, the characteristic T, whether it's straight up, upside down. This here, the T makes 90 degrees. That's what perpendicular means. A line, 2 lines intersecting at 90. So in other words, they're saying show that the diagonal bisect perpendicular. What does that mean? It means we need to show either that angle BTC is 90 or angle A2 is 90 or that angle A1 is 90 or that angle DTC is 90 degrees. If you can show that one of these angles is 90, then it means we will have proven that the diagonals bisect perpendicular. We already know that the diagonals do bisect each other. That one is clear because, okay, that's clear. You made a mistake. Where did I make a mistake? Lead W. Let's. This I need to listen to. This is very key. I love it when people come in the live and they say, you made a mistake. Come on, Rainbow Nation. Where did we make a mistake? Number 4.2. Where, my leader? You must explain to me. Where specifically? Talk to me. Where's the mistake? I love it when things like this happen. Okay, I love it. Yeah, love it. It makes me happy. It makes me rejoice. Okay. I think you are worthy of being invited, Lee. Now I feel the speaking privileges. You have opened up speaking privileges. Come, my dear child. Lee.w. Come, my child. Come, let us communicate. What's happening with the connection, my dear child? My precious child. Hey, what's happening now? Why isn't the connection connecting? Lee W, I don't know if it's your network, your side, but it seems like you are unable to connect with me. But nonetheless, Lee W said I make a mistake, but you can, as you go along, you can actually indicate in the comment section specifically what it is where is the mistake. Then we can address that as you see fit. Okay, so if the diagonals bisect the angles, show that the diagonals bisect perpendicular. Oh, the network was making nonsense. So where was the mistake? Speak to me.
Hi.
Hello, Lee W. How are you?
Fine, thanks, yourself?
No, I'm doing very phenomenal. I'm so happy that someone identified a mistake. Let us explore the mistake that you are talking about.
Okay.
Which mistake, dear?
By 4.2.1, it says determine the size of D1.
No. There's a comma there.
Okay.
That's a comma. It's not a
Because
one.
if it was D1, then it was gonna be B1 is equal to D1 because of alt angles. Parallel. Yeah. Because I thought that was a 1.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't a one. It's a beautiful comma.
Okay.
You see, I'm hoping you can see it now.
Yes, I can.
It's a beautiful comma. But I love the fact that I appreciate you saying that and identifying. I appreciate the fact that you've identified that. That to me that's what I want. I want people to actually say stuff and to interrogate because we're thinking people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. And the unfortunate thing sometimes is that in this life, people are just here. You can see some people are just accepting status quo. So thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate it. It's just that it is a comma. But like you said, if it was D1, you see, they gave me only angle B, and they're saying here, determine the size, which means they want a numerical value For if they were saying D1, they would have to give me more information, which they haven't.
Okay. Understandable.
Yeah. But thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming through.
Pleasure.
Yes. All right. So yeah, thank you for that. So guys, let's move forward. Let's move on, because if you remember, I was still just here at 4.2.3. Was just analyzing what the statement says. It's important to do that. You read the statement, you analyze what is being said, so that after analyzing and you have a very clear picture in your head of what it is that is required of you, then you can venture and answer the question. So, for instance, if the diagonals bisect the angles, in our head, we already know now from the meaning that we have actually been able to make, that if a diagonal bisects the angle, we are expecting that B1 should be equal to B2. Those two angles will be equal. Okay? Hopefully that's clear. D2 should be equal to D1. Angle A1 should be equal to angle A2. C2 should be equal to angle C1. That's what we know and we understand. So they are saying that condition is something that we need to actually apply to the diagram. If the diagonals bisect the angles, we know the conclusion we're making because of that. Show that the diagonals bisect perpendicular. So in other words, we need to show that either we show that angle A2, just one angle is enough, guys. If we can show that angle A2 is 90, we're done, finished, we are clear. Okay? Now, because of this condition, what can we say? Okay, remember, this is 100. Now we've actually applied the idea that the diagonal bisects the angle. So let's just focus our attention. Let's focus our attention on triangle ABT. Okay, so that we can work our way to checking if angle T2 is 90. Because the minute angle T2 is 90, we are going to make that conclusion that indeed the diagonals bisect perpendicular. Okay, because they bisect perpendicular, we already know that they bisect because of the property that is attached to a parallelogram. DB and AC, they bisect each other. We know that because a parallelogram has diagonals that bisect each other. What we need to indicate is that T2 is 90, or we need to indicate, if we are looking at this triangle BTC, that angle BTC is 90, or we need to indicate that angle, if we are looking at triangle ADT, that T1 is 90. Just one of the angles being 90 is enough. Okay, we don't need more. Okay, so let's come back here. Okay, Taboliboso in the comment section is saying that angle B1 is equal to 50. Do we agree with that, guys? If we are saying this diagonal bisects the angle, then it is comfortable for us to say that angle B1 is 50 degrees, right? Because what did we say bisect the corner angle means? If the entire angle is 100, then angle B1 and angle B2 are both equal to what? To 50 degrees. So I just simply say angle B1 is equal to angle B2, which is equal to 50 degrees. And the reason why I'm saying that is because diags bisect the angle. So I'm just going to use what they've actually stipulated as the condition. I'm just going to use that. All right? And my focus is going to be on triangle ABT. But B1 is equal to B2, which is equal to 50. That's for sure. Furthermore, let's come here this side. You know, what about angle A1, guys, and angle A2? Remember, we found angle A. Angle A was actually 180 degrees. Yes, you can say that, Tabone. You can say given. You can write given. All right. For me to say diags bisect the angles, I'm just using the given information, right? That's what I'm doing. So if you say angle B1 is equal to angle B2 is equal to 50 degrees, and you say given, yes, you are using the information that is given to you, all right? Me, I'm just deciding to actually write it out because I don't want any, anyone to tell me anything. I just want to just write. But if you say given, you are 100% correct. No, not a problem. Okay. Then what about angle A1 and angle A2? Okay. If this entire thing is 80, then carry, as you have said, yes, angle A1 plus angle A2 is 40, but specific, let's be specific. No, angle A1 plus A2 is not 40. The addition of the two is not 40 degrees. Angle A1 plus angle A2 gives us 80. But if this diagonal is bisecting the entire angle 80, that means angle A1 and A2, they are both individually equal to what? Yes, the addition is 80, but what is angle A1? What is angle A1 going to be equal to if this diagonal is bisecting the entire angle? Angle A1 is going to be equal to, yes, Pinky T, it's 40. A1 is 40, guys. So we are going to say angle A1 is equal to angle A2, which is equal to 40 degrees. For the same reason, you can say given, or you can just roll with what I have written here. Diags bisect the angles. Now, look at me focus now on triangle ATB. So I'm going to say to my person who's marking in triangle ABT so that they know where my attention is. Take angle A1. As Kali Nix Mfanomlungu. They are not coloring at all. You are the one that's going to be crying if you are not joining the live. Angle A1 plus angle B1 plus angle T2. Angle A1 plus angle B1 plus angle T2 is equal to 180 degrees. What's the reason? Now, guys, remember I said to you there are 3 acceptable reasons that are there for us to be used. We can use this guy, angle sum in triangle. We can use this guy, sum of angles in the triangle. We can use this guy, interior angles of triangle. So you decide. So me, I will say, what grade are you in, Grootman? Asking me about when I'm doing this paper. So let's say angle sum in triangle. Paper 1 for who? Which grade? Angle A1. So angle A1, remember, we found angle A1. We're going to say 40. Angle B1. B1 we know is what? 50 plus angle T2, which we want, is equal to 180. Okay. When are you writing paper 1, Fruitman? Because I'm planning on doing paper 1 sometime next week. Okay. Sometime next week. Maybe we'll see tomorrow how tomorrow pans out, but I'm planning to do it sometime next week. Okay, because my grade 9s are only writing on the 13th of November, so it's still a little while, and they're writing GEC, so paper 1 GEC. Then you take the 40 plus 50 degrees, let's not forget the degrees, that's 90, we transpose it. So we have 180 minus 50 minus the 40. So angle T2, guys, it's 180, kaloku my girl, darky cutie. It's 180, okay? Yeah, it's 180. I'm sorry if my writing is doing funny stuff. But the sum of angles in a triangle, remember, this is triangle ABT. The sum of angles in a triangle adds up to 180. The sum of angles are supplementary angles. So 180 minus 50 minus 40 gives us a beautiful what? 90 degrees. Okay, guys, proved. Okay, Grootman, which paper are you writing next week for grade 9? Okay, I'm doing paper 2 because my grade 9s are writing on the 5th, paper 2. That's why I'm doing paper 2, but the focus is on this because it's for them. Angle T2 is equal to 90. Therefore, diagonals bisect perpendicular. We've proven that. Okay. No 184, I'll be doing grade 10 paper 1 this evening at 8 p.m. Grade 10 paper 1. Okay, I did do some of it yesterday, functions and so on, but I'm doing grade 10 paper 1 this evening at 8 p.m. because I know some grade 10s are writing next week. Okay. All right. Any questions? Okay. The minute T2 is 90, guys, you know for a fact that it means that this line is perpendicular to that one. So indeed, we are supporting that the diagonals do bisect by virtue of this being a parallelogram. They bisect. We already knew that the diagonals bisect, but they bisect perpendicular. Why do we say perpendicular as well? Because we've just proven that angle T2 is 90. So therefore, we do that when a plane passes by. Diagonals bisect perpendicular. Okay? Okay. Paper 2, Momo. Okay, let's come here. In the figure below, BC is equal to BD. Grade 9, paper 2. BC is equal to BD. And CE is equal to DE. Prove that triangle BCE is what? What is that symbol? What does that symbol stand for, guys? Guys, whenever I do grade 9, it's like I'm doing grade 8. I don't know why people say to me, when are you doing grade 8? When are you doing grade 8? When I do grade 9, it's like I'm doing grade 8 because grade 8 and grade 9 content is the same. Grade 8s do congruency, don't you? I'm man. Okay, grade 8, stop asking me when am I doing grade 8. When I do grade 9, I'm doing grade 8. Content is overlapping there. Okay, if you're a grade 9 learner, you should have now realized that, oh man, these guys, we are doing the same thing. Yes, this symbol, 3 horizontal lines, this means congruent. And congruency, guys, has one of 4 cases. We have SSS, meaning side, side, side. That's when you can prove that 3 sides for 2 respective triangles that are corresponding to each other are equal. Okay. Tembi, I usually upload all my live sessions on my YouTube channel. YouTube link is in my bio. If you click on it and you can't go directly to the YouTube channel, you can always copy and paste the link of the YouTube channel. Copy the link, paste it on a Google search engine, search from there, it will send you to my YouTube channel. There are 2 links in the bio. There's one, that's a WhatsApp channel. That WhatsApp channel, you can also go in there by clicking, copying and pasting, sending, saving, and pasting it on the Google search engine and finding, okay? Yeah. YouTube name is also called MathsIsAGame. We are just MathsIsAGaming all the way, guys. Darky Cutie, what question are you asking? Is that going to be in our exam? Darky Cutie, I have no idea what's going to be in your exam. What I do know is that congruency and similarity for grade 9s will be examined in your exams if you are writing maths paper 2. Geometry is in paper 2 of grade 9. So I'm doing a past paper here written in the Bay Nelson Mandela district here on the 12th of November 2024. But I can promise you this was also recycled from another province because examiners recycle question papers. So the more you practice, the better. So like I was saying, for congruency, there are 4 cases. The side, side, side. The side, angle, side. Okay? Side, angle, side. You prove one side is equal to another side of a triangle. Then you prove that the angle that is included is equal to another angle for the triangle, another triangle that is included. And then you prove a side. Once you prove this, you can then conclude that the triangles are congruent for this case. Side, angle, side. So the side, side, side. The side, angle, side. 3, there's angle, angle, side. Sometimes you side, angle, angle, which is basically the same thing. Okay? Or angle, side, angle. 1 of 3. This is basically the same case, but usually stated in varying ways, but it means the same thing. If you prove 2 angles and 1 side, or Still two angles on one side. Still two angles on one side. So case 1, side, side, side. Case 2, side, angle, side. Okay. Case 3 or case 4. Okay. Case 4 is what we call right angle hypotenuse side. Right angle H hypotenuse S side. These are the 4 cases of proving congruent triangles. How many cases? 4. To proving what? Congruent triangles. What does the word congruent mean? When something is congruent to another, it means that that particular thing is equal in all ways. No? I think what they were meaning to say about identical twins, when they say twins are identical, unfortunately, even identical twins are not as identical. When you look at them, you see differences. If identical twins were identical, then they would be congruent, meaning there would be nothing that would be not the same about them. From the hair on their heads to the sole of their feet, you would see same things. So when we say triangles are congruent, we mean that their angles are equal just as much as their sides are equal. How? In one of 4 ways. You can either have their sides being equal, all of them, or 2 sides and 1 angle. That angle is always in the middle of the 2 sides of a given triangle. Or it can be 2 angles and 1 side, doesn't matter the order. Or it can be a right angled. I just want to kind of show you this, what we mean by right angle. Right angled, meaning there's a 90 degrees. That's what we mean by the R part. So if we can say this angle is equal to that angle is equal to 90, it's a right angled tick. H means hypotenuse. What is a hypotenuse? As Topless Baby is saying, what kind of name is that? Why would you call yourself Topless Baby? I man, Topless Icona. I think you need to actually remix that. You need to renew that name. Surely it must reflect better about you. Please, guys, the hypotenuse is the side that is the longest. There's 90 degrees. Opposite your 90 degrees, you always have what we call the what? The hypotenuse. So if you are able to identify the hypotenuse sides of these respective triangles being equal, it means you have just said this side, this hypotenuse is equal to that hypotenuse. That means you can tick that, your H. And then S means any other side of the triangle, but it must be corresponding to the other one. So this side equal to that one side, that is your S. Does the live eat data? Obviously it does. Guys, hang on. I just want to close the door here. Does a live chow data? It definitely does. My data is getting chowed as we. Okay. Where can we, guys? Hey, you see now the websites I'm forgetting now. I'm forgetting. Oh my soul! Oh shame, the soul. Okay. So let's come here now and try and prove the congruence. They are saying we must prove that triangle BCE. Yes, thank you. Okay. Yes, the website called Scribed has a lot of past papers. Very good, thank you. Please, guys, share in the comment section where you download grade 9, grade 10, like past papers and all of that, so that people can get those papers and download them as they see fit. I'm sorry, guys. It's just that I'm focusing on this. My mind is not there on the websites where you can download papers. Triangle BC. BCE is congruent to triangle BDE. So let's go, guys. This line BC, you can see this and that indicate that BC and BD are equal. So let's go and say BC is equal to BD. For this triangle, it's BC. For that triangle, it's BD. They are equal. How do I know that? I see the one line indicating equality. What's the reason? I just write it is given, guys. It's given. There's no other reason. Secondly, CE is equal to ED. Let's go. CE is equal to DE. CE is equal to DE. What's the reason? Those two lines indicate that it is given. It's been handed over to me on a silver platter. Okay. Then the last thing, BE for this triangle is the same BE for that triangle. So what do we call that? We call that a common side. So I can say BE is equal to BE. What's the reason? Common side. Okay. Now, BC is equal to BD. That was my 1S. CE is equal to DE. That was my second S. And then lastly, BE is equal to BE. That was my third S. So then I go back to what I was required to prove. I can then conclude, therefore, triangle BCE is what? Is congruent to triangle BDE. And then it's very important that you must write the case of congruency that you have been able to prove, which is S coming from this given side, S coming from this second statement with your given side, and then this third S coming from the common side. And that's it. Done. Okay? Done, finished, klar. That is a case of congruency proven. And it was case 1. Now, if you are going to ask me and say, sir, could I have answered this question and proven case 2? And my answer to you would be, well, my dear child, case 2 in this particular situation, I could not have been able to necessarily use case 2 to prove that the triangles are congruent. Why? Because even though I've been given a side and another side and this side and another side, and that qualifies 2 sides that are given, I am not sure about angle C and angle D and their specific numerical angle. I'm not sure about that. So I cannot conclude about something I don't know about. So that's why case 2 I did not use in proving the congruency of these 2 triangles. What about case 3, sir? Could you have proven case 3 that the triangles are congruent using case 3? Once again, 2 angles I would have needed on one side. Do I have 2 angles that I know for the respective triangles are equal? For sure. And the answer is no. So therefore, this case wouldn't have worked. Lastly, could I have used case 4 to prove the congruency of these 2 triangles? And the obvious answer, guys, 1, I don't have a right angle where I can see 90 degrees. 2, I don't have a evident hypotenuse side. It is not an hypotenuse side that I have because there's no 90 degrees. And 3, yes, there is a S, but it is not enough. So that is why the only case for this scenario that has been relevant to prove congruency has been case 1, because this side is equal to this side, that's the S given. This side is equal to that side, that's my second S that I have for given, and then BE is equal to BE. This is a common side for these two triangles. BE for triangle CBE, which is equal to BE for triangle BED. Are we together? Are you hearing me well? Okay. Right. Like I said, I save these live sessions and I upload them onto my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the recording, the re-recording, I'll upload it later on this evening and you can watch it in your own time. Next question. Hence, there's that word again. Hence, right? And one of our live viewers, he was so kind enough to share with us what the word hence means. Now we understand that it means we need to use something of what we did above to then answer the question here. What is the question saying? It's saying show that EB. Now let's go. Where is EB in the diagram? EB is here. And what are they asking us to show? They are saying show that EB, you can see where EB is, bisects. What does this word bisect? I explained what the word bisect means. The word bi means two, and this word sects, right, is kind of like to divide into two. I'm sure, in church language, they usually say that the Catholic Church, guys, I'm in no form or I'm not an expert in this, but this is what I've heard. But Catholic Church, they say was the first original church, after the time of Christ, established because of Roman rule and Roman Empire stuff. Then there were break-offs that came from the Catholic Church, like your Methodist, Anglican, and so forth. They usually call the break-offs that divided from that original church, they call them sects. So this word sect has something to do with divide. So that's why I'm saying divide into two. Bi means two, divide into two, equal. All right. So what they are saying is, they are saying prove that EB does what? Bisects what? The angle. What angle? The angle CBD. So in other words, they are saying I must prove that angle B1 is equal to angle B2. Is there a way for me to prove that angle B1 is equal to angle B2? Because that's what would support that EB bisects what CBD. CBD is this whole entire angle. The whole entire angle is CBD. This whole entire angle. Now I need to prove that angle B1 is equal to angle B2 in order to actually support that CBD is bisected by which line? The line BE. So how do we prove that? They said hence. They said what? They said hence. So remember, guys, I have just finished proving that triangle what? BCE is what? Is congruent to triangle what? BDE. Now, let me say this. Since triangle BCE is congruent to triangle BDE, please take note, because of side, side, side. Do you know what? Then we can conclude from that, guys. You see this angle here, this first angle. We can now say this first angle is equal to this first angle. Angle B here is equal to this angle B. This angle C is equal to this angle D. And this angle E is equal to this angle E. That's what we mean that the triangles in the order that's correct. Because when they write this down, guys, it's like they are writing it in the order of the angles as well that are equal. Remember, we said, what does congruent mean? It means that if we can conclude that something is congruent, it means the sides that are corresponding. BC should be equal to BD. The first two letters should be equal to BC is equal to BD. Is that true? BC really is equal to BD. The last two letters, the side CE should be equal to DE. CE really is equal to DE. And then the first and the last, BE should be equal to BE. Indeed, BE is equal to BE. Triangles are congruent. If the sides are all respectively equal for the corresponding sides, then the angles as well for congruent triangles should be equal. So in other words, this angle B should then be equal to this angle B. We can conclude that because the triangles are congruent. This angle C should be equal to this angle D. We should conclude that as well. This angle E should be equal to that angle E. Now let's check. For BCE, what is that angle? BCE, what angle is that? Isn't that angle B1? So we can say angle B1 for this triangle. Let's check here. BDE, what angle is that? Let's go to a triangle BDE. BDE, what angle is that? Isn't that angle B2? Guys, it is. So that means angle B1 is equal to angle what? B2. Hey, Bana. So since the triangles are congruent, the corresponding angles of the two triangles are also what? Equal, guys. Because congruent triangles have equal sides as well as equal angles. That's why I said to you, congruency is what identical truly means. The same thing. They are identical. You know? So since we can now conclude from triangles that are congruent that angle B1 is equal to angle B2, we can then say, therefore, EB, what does EB do? Bisects angle CBD. Finished. Okay. Guys, I hope yeah, I hope we are clear here. If you have questions, guys, the comment section is yours to ask. This guy, when I'm giving you your flowers. You know, I am giving you your flowers. Oh, this guy, Soka, this guy, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, you've added a new dimension to my understanding of congruence. Now, I think, you know, I can walk with a little bit more confidence when it comes to congruence, because yesterday, this thing, it was giving me nightmares. Well, no more nightmares for you, hey? Welcome to the world of the living, all right? You can breathe a little bit better, okay? Hey, guys, my battery is low, and I think I'm going to hold it right here, okay? I think I'm going to hold it right here. But maybe just before that, let's look at this question. In triangle ABC, BC, there's BC, is parallel to DE, there's DE. AB is equal to 10, AB is equal to 10. The lengths are not included in the diagram, so let me just do that for us and just write 10 centimeters. DE is 3. Where's DE? There's DE. So we are told DE is 3 centimeters. Just going to put that in pencil. AD is equal to 6. Where's AD? That's AD. So AD is 6 centimeters from here to there. Now, let's move on. Show that triangle ABC is, what does the symbol here stand for, guys? 3 vertical lines. What does that mean? Speak to me. Comment section, chat, let's go crazy. What does